All right. Hello, everyone, and welcome to something a little different. I was in the mood to make maps, and so that's what I'm gonna do today. I'm gonna make some freaking maps and do some art. So you might get a little bit of the audio capture here. I've got some music going on in the background, just more so for myself and less so for everyone else. But we'll see. See how you enjoy it. We'll listen to some Action Bronson. This album is Doctor Elector. I was in the mood to jam out to some old school action, so that's what I'm feeling today. So I'm gonna jump into this art thing and see kind of how it goes. Let's see if this is fun. So this is FE Map Maker. If you're not familiar with it, it's a tool by BWD Yeti. It's one of my favorite tools for making maps. Tiled is another one that's pretty popular. I like to use this one because I like the random feature and the repair feature, so it's helpful with getting certain tiles right, getting some ideas for maps. I like to use it a lot for building mountains because they're kind of a pain in the ass, especially when you're not really that sure of what you're doing. So it's a good way to try and generate mountains and copy them into other areas. So what I'm going to do first is just set up my length and width. I don't necessarily think you need as much space. um, some people will like argue that you need some big maps. What I'm thinking about for this, I'm thinking I want this map to be kind of long and narrow. So I'm thinking 20 by 16 to start a little bit. Maybe let's try this. Ooh, got a loaded tile set. First important thing, got a loaded tile set. I'm gonna do a field map. So there's a particular map in Vision Quest that I haven't been happy with. I'm gonna try and redo today. Specifically, it's what's it called? It's one of the maps where the two armies converge. So it's the first chapter in part 4. So I'm gonna do that and just kind of get my palette, get a general sense for the feel of the map. Then usually what I'll do is I'll just grab some grass, click onto my little draggy guy, and make this big field of grass just because it's a little bit easier to look at. And so what I'm thinking here is, this tile set didn't have exactly what I think I thought it had. I'm using the regular field tile set. I kind of wanted to do like a wall thing, but I think we're fine without that. So let me just get a general placement here. Let's see. I'm thinking here is fine to start. What I'll do is I'll just kind of get a general idea for things and then kind of move from there. Uh, so yeah, that's kind of how I'm feeling about this right now. I'm thinking this is gonna be like kind of by like the seaside. So just like kind of map this out a little bit. Again, your first draft, if you're making a map, like if you're brand new to map making, like welcome, it's fun. But also like I generally like to start with something kind of rough, just to get a sense of like the shape and if it's like as good as I think it is. Nice tile spam. Yeah, I know it's nice tile spam right now. I haven't made a map in a while, dude. I've been really in the mood though. Yeah, so let's just do this first. Debating how I want to set this up. And I expect to totally make mistakes as I go. But right now we're just kind of starting with something super raw here. Let's see. Maybe I'm thinking over here it might be cool to do like, let's see. All right, this Action Bronson's kind of distracting for this. I might change this. Chair, can you hear the music at all? Let's see. There we go. So I kind of like this idea of this little section being kind of like an island. I'll probably put a bridge in there somewhere later. Let's see. Okay, then I might scrap this. I don't know. We're experimenting with ideas. You can't hear the music. That's fine. Um, I have it on really low in my settings because I don't want to hear it too loud either. Okay, let's see. Maybe something like that. Let's see how that looks. Hmm. I'm gonna change the music up for a sec. I'm gonna put on something a little bit easier to listen to. What are we thinking? Chair, how about now? You getting some smooth jazz, and bossa nova. All right, let's see how this goes. Some quiet little jazz here. I'm definitely gonna change up these tiles, by the way. Don't worry. Let's see. Still can't hear it. That's interesting. I guess it is on like pretty low. Let me try this. How about now, bud? Because it's coming in pretty good on my audio capture, but this is fine. Don't maybe I'll avoid getting into copyright trouble then. Okay, so I kind of think this should be no. Actually, no. I like this in this spot. What I'm thinking is I'll probably have the player start here. No, here, and there's like a quick path to the boss. Still no chair. Okay, sorry about that. Maybe like a quick path to the boss here, and then up here there'll be like some type of like anti-turtle incentive, so you have to kind of send your units that way. So maybe something like a village here, and then we'll do just a little path, a little path. We don't need anything too crazy here, just a little one. Let's try. This music is so chill. Holy heck. Okay, something like that maybe. And we'll give it a little bush. That's a nice little bush we got right going on there. So let's see here. Let's just move this down a little bit. So let's kind of keep it moving. Let's see, what else can we do here? I'm gonna change this up in a bit, but I want to make sure I like the shape first. I'm thinking this will be kind of like a fortified entrance that'll be really hard to like get into. Maybe put a ballista or something like that. And then exactly, it's a happy little path. This is Fire Emblem Bob Ross, the Bob Ross stream. Okay, so thinking, I think there should be like some kind of. I feel like right here would be a good spot to do something like this, and just introduce like a little bit of elevation. Yeah, maybe like that. I'll fix that later. Then let's just see how this looks when I fix this a little bit up. These little like corner pieces are nice to fill in, flesh out. Let's see. I don't think that's the right piece. Maybe. No, maybe not that way. Actually, maybe. Yeah, this makes sense. And then we can do something like this here. No, I don't want that one tile choke. Yeah, I can't do that. We can do something like this, though. No. This is a one tile, which I'm not crazy about, but I can always just add in a layer a little bit later, if you feel me. So, little mountainside going on up here. Just a wee little mountainside. And now we got this going on. This little like elevation here I think is cool. Maybe I'll put something over here as well to make like a little bit of a path. Because I want to make it so that like you're probably going to split your army and have one going here. and then another group going to the village, and you kind of need to like time it perfectly because you want to keep approaching this section, but there are enemies coming out at you. Probably a lot of flying enemies would be good here, and some ballista could be interesting. Let's see. Let's see then. Maybe this tile here, and then something like that. That looks a little round, but maybe I'll fix this up. And a little something like that. I like this. I like these like little sections where there's probably like a longbow or ballista or something. It's a little hard to reach. I always think stuff like that's pretty fun to deal with. And then maybe just this so it's a little bit clearer. No, that looks weird. Okay, something like that maybe. Little jetty action. But this is like a little thin area section of hell, which I'm not crazy about. So maybe what I'll do is I'll just move everything down one. There we go. And so what I did there, if I took my big square over here, my rectangle, I did a right click to select the entire thing, which copies it. And then if I go to the paintbrush, it'll actually paint the entire thing that I just copied. So a fun little trick that I like. This is a one tile area as well. Maybe what I'll do is I'll do the same thing, but I'll just shift this over by a piece and then clean this up. So this is a little bit cleaner. Yeah, I like this because then it's two tiles. I think that's just going to be a bit better for gameplay. And then okay, and then let's see. This little section I think is kind of fun to deal with, but this is going to be probably like the bulk of it. And then let's do one of these little guys. Just like that actually might be better suited for a mountain, so maybe I'll take care of that later. But maybe I want to put something just a little bit more substantial so that I could put some dudes on it. And I'm thinking over in this part of the map because you might be wondering like why would I bother going over there? That might look a little too symmetrical. Thinking we could probably put something there that could be interesting to get like like a side boss or something like that. I'll shift down one as well. So the map making process, guys, it's fluid. You just have to have an idea and then more ideas will flow right to you. We're making happy paths. Happy paths. All right. And then let's see. I think this is the right one. No, that looks weird. No, this is it. That looks weird too. I'm not really crazy about that. But let's try something like that. So this is a little, I like this better actually. That's nice. And then over here. So I feel pretty good about the general flow of the map right now. Maybe I want to do some stuff over here. Maybe a river here that feeds into that would be nice with a little waterfall. So we can try that out. Try that out for size. So we'll do the river starting here. And then you don't want to have your river ever be too straight. It can just look a little unnatural if it's like that. Maybe I think I might do this first, just like shift it over a bit. Like so. And then this way we get a little bridge. Okay. Then let's try this out. Then a little waterfall. Then we could do something like this. So I'll fix this up a little bit. No, not crazy about that. That was the wrong tile. Let's see. No, that looks weird too. Let's So this is all part of the process, guys. All part of the process. Figuring out what exactly works. There we go. I think that works. Yeah, that looks nice. I think that's okay. I'm trying to think because there's got to be like a slightly better tile for this, but I think that's the right one in this case. If someone wants to correct me, let me know. Maybe that. No, that's not good either. Okay. So this is a nice little river. We'll put a little bridge here. Yeah, a little aesthetic going on. A lot of one tile here though, so I think we're gonna just shift all this up to the corner. Yeah, this is better. I'm okay with like this little section of one tile chokage. Put something here that can wrap around, and we'll fix this little happy path. And we'll just do it like that. Yeah, that's nice here. And we'll get just like a couple bushes up there. A bush there too. It's a nice little happy town we got going on there. You want to make sure you save it. Save it from the banditos. Actually, speaking of banditos, we definitely want to have to deal with some banditos this chapter. So I'm gonna make this quick little bandito house here. Just a little bit for the bandits to. Bandits got to eat too, guys. Let's see. Gotta find the right. I always struggle a bit with the mountain tiles. Mountain tiles are kind of annoying. No, that's not it. Let's see. There's the specific mountain tiles where they like touch the floor, but I always struggle to identify them on the sheet. Just trying to look for those here. That looks fine, I think. Yeah, this isn't coming to me right now, so I like that a little bit better. Does that work? I don't think that works. That's like the edge of the snag. I don't think that's the right use of it here. For a little path right over there. But I think that's a nice little tiny corner mountain. And then the brigand's got a little path he can go through. This is a little tight over here actually, but I think it's fine. That's a little bit too much one tiling, I think. Oh, this might be a one tile too. All right, so we gotta narrow this. I think we gotta make the map a little bit bigger. So let's do a big copy here. And we'll make this, I think, just like an extra pixel, 21 by 17. Let's try that out. So what I just did is I erased everything. I copied everything and then I erased it. So I'm thinking here. And then I'm going to just take all of this stuff. Do that. And then do this. I think that's fair. Let's try this out now. And then we'll do a little bit of extra rivering over here. And then you can just move up a little bit. And then do I want to open up this path a little bit? Maybe we can do that now. Because if we open up this path a little bit, then we can do something interesting. Maybe we can take like a snag. We could do a little snag action over this bridge, this little area. See if you want to do this, like go up the top route. You know, that's a now valuable path that you can take. And then let's clean this up a little bit as well. No, I don't think that's right. Let's see. That's not, I don't think that looks right either. I think we can make this work. if we just sell this the right way. And then do that. Something like that maybe could be cool. This doesn't really make a ton of sense though from a perspective standpoint, so maybe this. Getting the layering right, it's always something that I struggle with just a little bit, and then we'll waterfall it again. And then we'll do... Yeah, I like this. So it's like elevated, you go over. Actually, let's try this out then. Oh, no. There we go. Yeah, I like that. That's a neat little path. And then the brigand can go through here. But I kind of like the idea of the brigand being able to go up this as well. And then we'll just have some enemies in this spot. And this piece, maybe we move it over one. Nope, didn't want to do that. Control Z. So let's see. Then this is a one child. Unless I just lower this guy just a little bit. That's better. So this is two. This is one tile, but that's fine, I think. Okay, now I want to go back to this part of the island and edit it a little bit. Just so it's less just like straight path. So thinking we'll curl up a little. Let's see. Yeah, I'm trying to think here. I think maybe something like that. So it's just like this big open bridge area. And then this way we can do something like this, maybe. And then, actually, no, that doesn't really work here. Maybe like that then, yeah. And then, little, not crazy about that. Maybe we could just do something like this instead. Yeah, I think that looks a little bit more natural. What do you guys think? Okay, that looks better. Just these sections also have like these little like filler sections here to like make those corners look nicer. So I'm just gonna go make sure I capture those right. Yeah, so we got this like little structure here in the ocean. And then I think we're good because this is going to be the starting area. So now I'm going to make some forests. I'm pretty sure. A little forest action. So actually we'll do some forts first. Got one here. Two here. I want this to be kind of like reinforcement central. And then okay, one here. Okay, something like this I think is appropriate. Right, the right amount of forts for now. I tend to overestimate how many forts I'll need, but I like having the option when I'm doing the enemy placement, and I can always just remove them pretty easily. And then let's see. I think some forests are in order here. I like having some forest over in the spot of the map. I tend to like tight maps with terrain. And some corner bits here. Maybe a thicker forest in the middle of these. Something like that. Then maybe a little bit of like some light grass over here just to mix up the grass a bit. And normally I'll go probably towards the end I'll go and I'll like spruce up all the grass. But right now I just want to get in a little bit of flavor here and there. Then over here, I think this might be like a path area. Something like that, I think. And then we'll clean that up. Let's see. Something like this, maybe. That looks okay for now. And then over here, something a little zanier, maybe, just to do something crazy, something different. Something like this, maybe. I don't know. I'm kind of just spitballing here. A little bit like that, perhaps. I don't know. How do you guys feel about that? I'm not actually crazy about this one. I think I need to make it look a little bit more natural. Something like this, maybe. Then maybe something like... Yeah, that actually could work, I think. Not the best thing I've ever done, but... Oh, let's see. So this either looks worse there. This is one of my issues with this sort of pathing. Actually, this could work because then you could go up here if you want. I actually think that could work. Oh, no. Didn't want that. Here we go. Yeah, I think that's fine. Then you can go up this little section here if you want to cross over. Do some crossover. Little one tile here, but I think that's okay. So yeah, so we're just making some maps today, boys. Making some maps. Some happy little maps. Now, thinking, what do I want over here? I want it to look like they're coming up from a path because they're coming back from, they were over the border and now they're returning home, and this is kind of like a fort that they're passing. So something that like insinuates just kind of veering off the path they thought they were on. That's a little too much, I think. Then let's see. A little like that, maybe like they're coming up from over here. It's a little doughy path. All right. Then what else could I do? Okay, then try and do these. I like doing this little like grassy stuff. I think it just kind of adds a little bit of pizzazz to your maps. And especially when you do it well. Like I'm definitely like novice at it for sure. I don't have a great eye for it. Something like that maybe. And then added some forests around it. Like that maybe. And then just yeah, a couple more trees I think might be good. Yeah, something like that perhaps. And then maybe a little bit over here. Just a little guy, little grassy patch. Just a wee one. Just like a little heart, little smiley face. Let's see, what do we got? What do we got? Then let's close this guy out. That actually kind of works. It's like a little splotch. Then maybe a little pathing up here. I always like to use these little squiggles. They're kind of hard to use right, though. When you get them right, though. Let's see. No, that's not quite right. I'm thinking usually you gotta just like wrap those around with like a corner piece and then that. Yeah, something like that. A little snaky path. little little snake path here cutting over through the mountains. I kind of like that. And then we'll move. You have to move this guy though because he's in the way. And we'll add this little nub in here. Yeah, I like that. And then we're gonna have to add another little side nub in. Let's take this guy maybe. Not ideal, but we might be able to make it work. That looks okay. Something like that. That's actually okay, I think. Then we can put this here instead. And maybe here instead, yeah. Encourage the wraparound, but you can charge through the forest if you want. Similarly over here. Just a little bit of terrain. Let's add a little bit more up top here, shall we? Get this going up here. I like that little bit there. This is coming along, I think. Fun little random 4th of July mapping that we're doing. Let's see. Do we need any mountain tiles here? I don't really think so. Okay. Little forest here and here. Maybe there too, so it looks a little bit more natural. Why is it curved this way? Oh, because there's some trees. Okay. Yeah, I think this is pretty cool. So how would I make... I feel like there's probably some more tweaking I could do. Actually, I might add some more color over here. Sometimes you just gotta sit with the map for a little bit before you know exactly what you want to do with it to make it done. Plus, you also kind of want to play it. Let's try a little nub in here. Little space there. I could roll with that. Yeah, I think that's nice. That's a nice little way to use these little sections here. Let's try that. I think a short little path here would be fine. That looks a little too fat there. Maybe a smaller tip. That looks okay. Then over here, the too wide over the bridge is always a toughie for me because it's like always kind of hard to like. You see this one's kind of looking weird, but they're happy little paths. They're just little paths. And then okay, we'll try that out. Yeah, maybe that'll work. And then this goes right here or something. We'll move that down one. You know, as I think about this, I'm trying to think of a reason why you would want to go over this path with the snag. I feel like it's more so just like aesthetic rather than anything else. But I'd have to check around with the AI and see what I could do there to make this somewhat useful. But let's remove it actually. and just put a bridge instead. Because this way the bandit can try and go over it to get to the village. And then you kind of want to go up this path or try and cut him off around. You could do either or. It's good to give options, guys. Good to give options. Let's move this over 1, 2. And then make a little bigger one down here. Let's try that maybe. Yeah, that's a little corner spot. Now, what else can we do here? This piece, not so sure about, honestly, but how does this look with that? Oh, that looks so much better. Holy heck. All right, yeah, we're doing that there. Wonder how this looks here. No, that doesn't look good there. All right, so that's fine. That looks fine. This is fine. This is fine. Okay. So one little, I think it only makes sense that this fort has like a little bit of a path to it because it's civilization. Get a little extra here. And then so there are two types of forts. There are the forts that are designed to go next to grass, and other forts that go next to the path here. So you can see that it looks okay. We could try this out. Maybe this might be better actually. Yeah, I like this better. So you got 3 back, 4 back. Okay. Yeah, I'm thinking this is fine because you can choose like thinking through how I would probably make a map like this work is you would start down here. There'd be like a bunch of enemies here, ballista, flyers coming from the forts over here, consistent like reinforcements, maybe like cavalry or something coming out as well to like charge at you. And like a lot of the enemies funnel out from here, and so it's kind of a little bit like a battle of attrition for this bridge, and it's hard to approach from with the sides with flyers because of the ballista. Then up top here, brigand comes, tries to go this way to the house, the village, and then maybe like some thieves running away like through certain paths to like encourage you to like chase them down those routes, but then they lead you into like little traps or something like that. Could be pretty neat. One of the issues I have with like making a lot of anti-turtle incentives like this is that it can be what's it called? You could just end up giving the player a lot of rewards, but we'll see. I'm pretty okay with this. Fun little map we made today. I'm going to save this map. I'm going to call this maybe new 4-1 river fort. Okay. So I'm going to leave this up for a minute. I'm going to go run to the restroom and I'll be right back. Alright, I'm back. Oh, we got some comments. Bloopy. Grass and forest need more texturing. Yeah, I get what you're saying. I could do that now, actually. Just try and spruce these up a little bit. There's not too many one tiles. There's a one tile here. There's one tiles up here. This little path. It's a little narrow. You're probably right. But let's see. Do some grassing here. Let's see. Little bits over here, bits and baps. Yeah, this is nice. This is some nice little texturing we're going on here. Let's try some new grass. Let's see. Nope, don't like that one there. Bloopy, can you hear the music at all? Am I going crazy just listening to this very chill jazz music by myself? Let's see, what else can we do here? That's fine, I guess. Yeah, I think this is... You can't hear the music, right? That's so strange. Let me see what's going on here. Where's this capturing music from? That's so strange that it's not going through. Okay, no worries. We're not sure why that's not going through here. I wish it was, though. I should figure that out. Okay. How about now? I just cranked it up a bit. Is this jazz music just a little too chill? Let's see, where are you? Still nothing? Sorry about that. I'll have to just run around some new jazz. This is what I'm listening to. That's the smooth jams right here. It's a live stream, so you can join double streaming. Alright, let's see. This I might fix. No, I'm not crazy about that. One of the things that's always tricky is it's hard to end paths that kind of go right here. Usually a lot of them end up, left, or down. So when you want to go to the right, it's tricky to find the right piece. Oh, the music's coming in? Or is it through Rage? Or are you watching the actual stream? Pretty happy with that style here. I think vanilla does stuff that's even more egregious. For good measure. I like that. So now we're starting to build our Oh, really? That's funny. How's that? Is that better? Can you hear me a little bit more clearly now? Sorry about that. I didn't realize how much jazz I was playing. Let's see. So I'm thinking this is pretty good. Let's see here. Let's see what's happening. I think my mic volume got adjusted again. No, I think my mic volume's fine. I might make the mic a little bit louder, actually. Let's try that. I think that's a bit better for the mic overall. Just a bit better. Better. How about here? I think this is the right volume. So let's hit OK there. I'll keep an eye on this one because this has been giving me issues. Alright, I think the levels are fine. Blue, let me know if the levels are fine. It's always a process. So let's see. I'm going to open up Builder because I want to see... Oh, there's an update. Yeah, we'll just update Builder real quick. I'm just thinking about other maps that I might want to try and redo while I'm here and in the mood to make maps. Trying to visualize any that come to mind that are pretty egregious. Trying to think. Maybe I can make like a village map or something next. So I'll just, what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a new map. I'm going to leave this blank here. The other ones were saved, don't worry. And then load tile set. Okay, lower the music a little bit. Okay, there we go. Music is lowered. I can still hear it on my end, which is fine. Now, what kind of tiles? What kind of map are we gonna make next, man? Let's see. Builder's updating, so I can't look at any of my maps. So maybe. Let's take a look here. Let's have a think on this. I think I'm gonna do another field map. Actually, I'm feeling the field tile set right now. So I'll do the field map again, but I'll try this one to be a little bit different. I have another field map concept that I want to do. Oh, Builder finished updating. There's another field map that's in the late game that I think might need to be redone. Kind of as I think through what I want for it. But I kind of like that one. Let's see. Yeah, you know what? I think I know what I'm going to do. Yeah, I'm doing the field map again. Let's see here. So I'm debating size-wise how I want this one to flow. Debating... Because the previous... I'm just trying to think of like the order of the maps here. Because the map before, it's kind of like a tall, narrow map. So I'm thinking maybe this next map will be something like a little bit more like a horizontal sort of experience. So maybe... Let's start with 15 by 19. Make that a little bit tighter. Okay, so we'll start with what I like to start with was just a big patch of grass here. And then this fight happens in like a ruins area, so maybe up here in the corner, that's where the ruins are. And there's going to be some rivers, I think. So I'm thinking some type of mountain in the middle here. And then some rivers around it. So you kind of have to go up and around or down and over. Could be interesting. So yeah, let's try that. So I'm lazy with mountains, so I'm going to try doing this trick. One simple trick. Let's just see what we get. We'll do some map roulette here. Map roulette. Wait for like a nice looking mountain that we can work with. Oh, perfect. Look at that. That's a nice little mountain we got going on there. Little mountain roulette. Alright, so I like that. We're going to clean this other crap up for now, because I don't really want any of it. But we'll do this here. And then I might put another mountain over there. But actually, no, I can do river. Let's see how this looks with a river. Yeah, so maybe something like this here. Let's see. I take this sort of thing. I think 2 rivers that converge would probably be cool. So we'll do that here. Nope, not what I wanted. Then over here. And again over here, maybe. Then a little bit of a river. Maybe make this a little bit wider so it looks a little bit more realistic. And then let's see. So now we'll get some rivers going. Oop, not what I wanted, but here we'll get some straights. And then we'll curl this back. Gotta always be careful with how you do these diagonals. A few straight ones. One like that maybe. Curl it around maybe. Do a little curl around here. Ooh, that's kind of nifty. Little squiggle path. Actually, I'll probably change this. Yeah, I'm not really crazy with how this looks. No, we're scrapping that. So maybe we'll do one down, something like that maybe. Actually, thinking that works. Then let's see. And then over here on this side, some rivers. And then thinking, yeah, let's keep a few straight. No, maybe not that narrow one. That was a bit of a mistake there. Just kind of grabbing what I see. Right now I can always clean it up later. What I'm really looking to solve for right now is just the general shape of the river. Something like this maybe. Something like that. It'll probably look better once we fill this out a little bit. And then we can put like a little archer here or something to keep things spooky. Then let's see. So yeah, if your guys started over here, you can go up there. Just widen this up a little bit. Yeah, I think that's a little bit better. But I'll make this like kind of a densely forested area or something, so that it's not just like easy to sneak right through. And over, I'm thinking this could be interesting to try out over here, but like one of these little guys. And get like, no, it's a one-tiler. I could make it a little bit wider. Actually, I think I might do that. So we'll copy this. Do that. And then, yeah, I think that's fine. Maybe use this a little bit more. There we go. Couple little happy bushes there, one there. Then something like that, perhaps. Little paths for the brigands to come out of. Get out of their little cave. And then up here, clean that up. No, that's not the right one. Perfect. There we go. A little couple mountain fixes. And then over here, this area is a little tough. So I'm thinking this is a one-tile snag path, I'm thinking. And then the bridge is kind of here. And then I guess you can snag over this side too if you want. But danger looms, maybe. I don't know. What do you guys think? And then similarly, I think I'll do 2 bridges here. Little tube spot there. That's fine. And this is supposed to be kind of like a dense forest area. So I'm not going to do like the noob thing and just like put like forest on every single tile, but it's going to definitely be like a foresty map. So let's see here. I guess we'll start with the pathing first. We'll do something like that, perhaps. And then over here, something like this. I think that looks pretty decent for a first attempt. And maybe over here I'll try like some lighter grass. I think that looks nice over there because it's not really like a path to this like place. It's more just like places where like these dudes walk to. I guess that sounds like a path, but it's not the same kind of path. Maybe we'll just do this instead here. Ooh, look at that. I like that. I like the way that came out. Little forest here on the edges. And then maybe one thicker guy here. And then like that. A little bit of edge boys over here. And then similarly, no, I'm not really crazy about that. I think that's better. Couple of little forest tiles. I think that looks okay for now. Maybe a little bit more over here. Little clusters here, some bushes. And then I always like to do this because I think these look nice next to the forest tiles. Let's see. Yeah, a little nibbler, no little nibbler like that guy. But actually, I should probably make this a little bit wider. Maybe not. Looks a little too angular, I think, here. Let's clean this up. That looks better, I think. Then I'm thinking similarly, something like that over here. Maybe something, because I'm thinking like that maybe. No, it looks a little off. Also off. No, that doesn't quite work. I need a corner piece. Okay. Pathing is probably one of the more tedious parts, but it's fun when you get it right. Okay. And then I'll probably do like a nice little path up this spot to the bridge. No, I didn't want to do that. Let's try this out. It's a little jagged there now. That kind of works. Just trying out some different side pieces here. Let's see. Alright, so starting to feel good about this one. Couple of things there. I feel like this section's a little barren. I feel like some forests on the edge might do the trick. This is gonna look pretty heavy with terrain. I'll probably cut some of it out. But it's a forest, guys. It's supposed to be pretty dense. Yeah, I like that a little bit. Little clearing. Some reinforcements might come out of here to surprise you. And then I want it to be like they're kind of in like this clearing. Let's see here. Okay. Little section there. Looks like this guy. It's like this piece of forest is like dabbing or something like that. I don't know. It's the vibe I get from it. Maybe something like this. Okay, I think about having some forts. And then if we do a fort, we'll clean that up. Fort. 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 Something like that, maybe. This top part's a little bit more dense, actually. Yeah, maybe right here, so it's like kind of out of the way. But if you, this works, I think. Okay. And I'll put a fort here because I think this might be a map where I have dudes spawn from behind you at some point. I gotta let this one sink in for a bit. Kind of let it marinate. How I feel about it more long term, but right now I'm kind of into it. A little nublet there. And then okay. Little circle maybe? Looks a little weird there, I think. Yeah, you know what? I'm not crazy about that. I think this might make a little bit more sense here. Just a little guy. Just a little path. Yeah, I can get on board with that. And then we'll put a little bit of this extra finishing touch there. And there, perfect. Nice little path here. For your dudes to chill on. Like so. And then this part's gonna need some help. So maybe thinking something like this maybe. No, it didn't look good at all. Ignore me. That looks okay. That looks pretty natural. Anyone in the comments got any feedback for me? Anything you guys think might be better here? Just making some maps. Hour and 10 minutes of map making. Holy heck. We've been at this for a bit. Let this one marinate for a sec. Just gonna give it a bit of a look over while I do some other stuff for a sec. Yeah, let's see. I think this is alright. Oh, this has got to be fixed. There we go. And then here. There's no like good reason for the bandits though. I could put it here. Loop around maybe. You know what, that could be interesting. I think that actually might be pretty decent. I don't know if I like the idea of bandits coming out of the cave. But I don't know if this particular map needs a village to save. So, we'll give it a try. We'll see how this looks. Let me just find the right sort of path there. And then it's a little straight, but I think it's fine. I think that's a nice little squiggly path. Yeah, that looks decent enough, I think. Yeah, I'm thinking this is okay. And then we'll do one of these little things here. Little square, maybe. Little diamond. Actually, I might change that. And then maybe we can do a little guy up top here. That could work. Maybe that there too. No fort there, maybe. I think I just might go back to the forest here. Yeah, I like that. Put like a longbow or something there. Longbow guy here. I actually kind of like how this one came out, but I'm going to do a little bit more of this grass tweaking. Just do a little tweaking here and there. Just kind of play around with it until it looks good. Just try different grass tiles out. Generally, you want to put one with like a little dark edge there for the forest so that they have better shading. This is a new technique that I'm trying to master a bit more. And then do a little bit of shading there, a little shading. A lot of force in this map to deal with, but it's fine. It's a fun little exercise we got going on here today. Doing a little bit of map making. And then maybe just try out some different strains of grass here. Just be mindful not to do it over the places I just did, but just to vary it up a little bit. You know, you gotta get some variance in your grass. It's easy for it to kind of look spammy. So thinking that might be good here. There really isn't too much rhyme or reason to the grass as far as I can tell. Some of it might be like better shading for like below forest and stuff like that, but it's pretty subtle stuff and like you'd have to play with it for a while or just know the tile set super well to really have an eye for it, I think. But right now I'm pretty content with kind of how this looks. Yeah, I'm thinking that looks fine. This looks like a pleasant little map. So you guys would start here, you can go up and around, you can go down and over. The rivers provide some interesting vantage points. You have some different ways to approach this. Maybe I'll have one of the guys like snipe this over and like try and cross down here. That could be fun. So yeah, let's what do you guys think of this map? Any thoughts? And if I'm talking to myself, that's totally fine. Let's see. Okay. Yeah, I mean, I think this is fine for now. Oh, I need to add a little tiny house because there's an event. So I'll do that little house by the river. Doesn't that seem nice, guys? Wouldn't that be a nice little house by the river? How many? Yeah, I'll have to tweak these a bit. Try something like this, maybe. Yeah, I think that's fine. There's supposed to be like, as part of like the story, there's like a densely wooded spot where you might hint find an item. So Maybe something like that could be kind of cool. A little thick, but a little channeling my Kaga just a little bit there. But I think that's fine. And then maybe one over here. Ooh, no, I don't want that. What's the use of the stump if there's a bridge just above it? Depends. There could be enemies that are coming from the side. I was also thinking that maybe you'd have an enemy that would break this and then try and cross over down low so that you have to kind of defend on two fronts versus just what's coming up here. I might remove it, but just an idea that I thought might be fun to try out. Thanks for commenting. It is a good point though. I mean, it's part of it's a tight map. Like it's not that big, but I think this will be fine. Maybe we'll do this instead. How do we feel about this instead? Maybe that could be nicer. Maybe something like this. Because I get what you're saying. Nah, I think this is fine for now. Armor Knight on the bridge. Yeah, I was thinking something like that. In fact, actually, I might make this a little bit one tile taller. Just so I can show off a little bit of the bottom of the river here. So we'll do 20 by 16. Clean this up a little bit. Shift this section down. Do something like this. Ooh, nope, not what I wanted. No. Maybe something like that for now. And then something like that might be nice. This little clearing area here. I think that helps just a bit. We get a little bit peeking out from here in the forest there. Maybe a little bit more over here as well. But I'll change this up a bit so that you can't really recognize it as much. There we go. Or maybe actually something like that. No, that doesn't look quite as nice. All right. I think this is a nice little map. All right. So yeah, I kind of like this one. I'll do a little bit more grass texture stuff here. Just gonna mix it up. I think this looks pretty solid. I'm pretty happy with how this one came out. I'll probably have to like clean up some of the terrain because it is pretty thick, but I think it'll suit my purpose just fine. Sort of little forest area. And thankfully I can change the colors of it later. So I'm going to make a save here. This is going to be, let's see. This is probably going to be the new 4-4 for Vision Quest. Still experimenting, seeing what works. But I think this could be fine. So I'm pretty happy with this. I'm going to let this one simmer for a sec, and I'll be right back. All right, everyone, we're back. Gonna be getting back to some map making very casually. I don't expect a lot of people to be watching today because it's 4th of July. For my fellow Americans, happy 4th of July. Happy day for America. So let's get back to this. Let's see what else I can redo potentially. I have a castle map idea that I did that I might decide just to redo, because I think I can make something a little bit better than what I had planned. So I think I might try switching it up to a castle map. So I'm going to start with a new load tile set. We're going to load the FE8 castle tile set. That looks pretty garbled, so we're just going to hit new map. Now, debating the size for this one. This one's probably going to need to be a little bit bigger and wider. So I'm going to try 22 by 18 to start, and then we could always whittle it down from there. Generally, like I do with the other maps, I like to start with just like all of my floor tile, because this is going to be indoors, and it's a prison escape type of map. And I want like the objective to be that you're like freeing prisoners here or somewhere, and then there's dudes that are trying to either kill the prisoners or kill you, and there's like some different paths you can take. So this one's going to be a little bit more experimental, and then there's going to be, yeah, I have a couple ideas here. So usually for a castle map, I'll start with the walls. And castle maps are definitely not my strength, so I try to challenge myself here when I design these. Then let's see, so maybe something like this. So I'm thinking just like a small little like side room where there might be like a chest or two. I usually like to use different types of tiles in chest rooms and things like that. Then we'll... thinking, do I want to make this like a little bit of a bigger wall? Maybe something like this. And then I'll switch over to like the shading. Oh, that didn't look good. This is probably a little bit better here. And then... or maybe this would just be like a little like place for like dudes to try and like bork me from the side here. I like that actually. And then I can maybe like... no, it doesn't look right. So let's try that. So it's like a little tower here where they're trying to shoot at me. And then maybe we'll try this. Little corridor here. Little death corridor. Okay. Thinking trying something like this, maybe a little squiggle wall. We'll see how this looks. I don't really ever do the squiggle wall too much, but this could be kind of neat. Hey Zonin, this map might be. I just was in the mood to make maps today, so I'm just doing that and figured I'd try streaming it to see if anyone thought it was cool or fun to watch. Some of these maps might be in Vision Quest. Most likely, I'll probably edit them a little bit more once I test them. But I wouldn't be surprised if some of these are in like the later part that won't release for a while. The maps for the next release are already done. I just need to do some art that I'm procrastinating on. So just doing some additional maps just to kind of pass the time here today. Thanks for stopping by. Okay, let's try this out and then let's see how this looks. And then some stairs here. And then boop. Actually, I like this here. So yeah, if this does get into Vision Quest, this would probably be like maybe 3 chapters from the final. Still debating. You know, I have all the chapters written out for the rest of the game, and I have maps and enemy placements done. I haven't play tested any of them, but a lot of these maps I did a while ago, and I think that I can do better. So I wanted to give it another shot, and also just, again, like kind of just in the mood to do it. So that looks okay. I'll fix the shading later. Actually, you know what, I'll do it right now. Something like that maybe could be cool. And then I'm thinking a big chunk here could be pretty neat. So kind of like a little, just a room. This one doesn't need to be elevated, I think. This one can just be like on this first floor. Do a little squiggle. Well, I'm liking the squiggles here. It's giving me like the map where you recruit Torneo in FE9. I'm starting to get those vibes from the way I'm shaping these rooms. Hopefully this will be more fun to play. Because that map is long. That is a long map. And there's a lot of just waiting around and chasing people down. Hopefully this map will be a little bit more fun. So... yeah, you know what? I'm going to keep this all of the main level. And then do some more over here. So... then... debating how I want to do this. Because there's also supposed to be prisoners here, but I don't know if this is going to work out as I plan it to. But I am liking kind of the direction this is going. I think this might just be like another like attack room with like a siege tome or a status stave or something like that. Or maybe this could be a cell. Yeah, the cell can be kind of tiny and annoying. We'll put a little door there. Boop. Just these cramped corridors here. We'll just do a little bit of shading while we're at it. Maybe... yeah, I think I'm gonna put some more cells up here. Something like this. And then a little of that. Door. And then maybe I'll just try something similar, like right there. Just to see how this looks. Cell, cell. Then maybe a staircase or something here. And there too. Actually, no, I don't like the way that looks there. And maybe something here as well. This might be a squiggle wall time. So I'm thinking... no, actually... no, this is a little too tight, I think. I could make it bigger. This section's a little open too. But if I'm gonna have like the player escaping through here... maybe I'll have some gimme prisoners just to like introduce the player to that. I think that might make sense. So, if we do this... especially because it's gonna be like kind of a funky mechanic. Oh, I can see what you're saying, Revnica. It kind of does have that vibe a little bit, especially given like the cell where Lilina is. I can see where you're getting that impression from. Let's see. Corner staircase. Hopefully this will be a little bit... I mean, this map won't be nearly as big. It should be a little bit easier. So let's see. I don't know how I want to do this, but I'm debating. Let's try this here. Add a third layer. Let's just see how this looks. Not really sure what to expect. I will make this taller, I think, because this is a little too one-tiley. Yeah. Oop. Nope. Not what I wanted to do here. So maybe something like this here. No, it looks weird. Door. So this one probably won't have a siege. I think this will be more like a defeat boss. Like this is just like a section of the castle versus it having a throne room. That's kind of what I had envisioned, because I think I want the boss to move in this chapter. I think that would make more sense. Let's see. And castle maps, not my strong suit, not my favorite to make, because I find they're usually quite linear. But we'll see how this one plays out. Maybe a breakable wall too, just because this is going to require quite a lot of keying. So, because this I think will be a treasure room. This will be a treasure room. A couple breakable walls here and there. If you want to bust out some prisoners. Thinking maybe here. Here. Let's see how this looks. Not as crazy about this way. Oh, I see what you're saying. Oh, like an escape point. Yeah, I was thinking of like making it so that like if they run to the sides, then that's like escaping here. Because this is where your army would start. And so the idea is like you'd free them and then they gotta rush down here. And you gotta kind of cover their escape as you're getting reinforcements. I'm thinking that might make sense. I'm trying to think of logistically how I might make this work. But I think the escape points would all be here. And then the victory would be like, I think eventually like after a certain number of turns, the map would either just end and you wouldn't save all the prisoners because you'd be like, oh, there's too many reinforcements, we need to leave, kind of thing. Because I don't think this is like FE9, the chapter where you get Brahm and Nephany, because that map you're starting in one point and then like escaping in another part. This is more like, actually, you know what? That could be pretty cool to do. I actually think that might give a little bit more direction to where we want to go. So actually, that's a good idea, Zonin. Let's try that out, because I'm thinking now that the gears are turning, we can probably do that like over, have like the boss here and the escape point here, so you can escape without fighting the boss if you want, or you can go over this way and get the boss and like this last prisoner. The prisoners won't be recruitable, they'll just be like green units. But if you save all of them, maybe there'll be like some type of like cool prize or something like that. I don't know, I haven't thought all of it through yet. And a little carpet action here. I do like making carpets. Oh, this part's tricky. Yeah, this isn't gonna work. I'm just gonna do this then. Yeah, I like how that looks there. We'll put some chests. I like a little stairs here. Some chests will be... maybe not there. I gotta get this castle back. There we go. Shade the chests a little bit. Yeah, so maybe if we do this then... Because I'm thinking thieves would be cool to come out of here and get the chest if you're too slow. So this map should be pretty hectic, I think, but it's like near end game, so you have pretty buff units and you should have more movement. So it shouldn't be too difficult to navigate through. These sections are a little wide, so I want to cut them up a little bit with some carpeting. Something like this maybe. I'm just experimenting here. And then we'll try some pillars as well. Let's see, some pillaring. Ooh, look at that. Actually, I don't really love how that looks. Let's fix that. We'll do some pillar here. Pillar, pillar. And then I'll use these as escape tiles, I think. That looks kind of funky, actually, now. I mean, I'll just use the little arrows, so then this way it notes where the player needs to go. So yeah, you start here, and you want to break out the prisoners up here. The boss is over here, and then there's like a real boss that comes out from this side to chase you down, maybe. I think that could be pretty fun. I'm gonna put a breakable wall there too. Actually, no, I don't like that there. Let's do that up here. No. Yeah, actually, let's do it on the top side. That might be better. That might make more sense. And then a staircase over here, maybe. Over here. Corner. Just some options for reinforcements. Oh, cool. Yeah, the two bosses thing, I don't know. I think it could be fun. Because I like the idea of it like being like, this guy's optional, but he moves towards you. And then I'm going to widen this a little bit as well while we're thinking about that. And then someone else chasing you down from the backside, so you can't just like linger. The party will spawn in the bottom left, is what I'm thinking. So let me just fix this real quick and I'll show you what I had in mind. There we go. Yeah, so maybe the party would spawn down here. And then there would be like, thinking this section would be like staff, enemies, maybe with like sleep or silence. There would be prisoner, 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 loot, loot, prisoner. And they all have to try and escape through here, so you kind of have to escort them around. Thinking this probably can just be like that then. I mean, what are you guys thinking? What do you think would be cool? I kind of like these little guys here. That looks kind of cool. Maybe something like this here. I definitely need to do a little bit more to spruce up the tiling down here. So let's do pillars. And now we'll shade it a little bit. It's good to, I think you only really need to shade the top part of your pillars. You don't need to go too crazy. At least that's my take on shading, but I'm also not an expert, so don't take my word for it. Yeah, it looks nice there. And then there's no then maybe over here we'll just have like a little carpet. The stairs in the treasure room? What are you talking about? Which stairs are you talking about? Because I'd be curious to understand that. Maybe widen this up a little bit. Maybe do something like that. Yeah, it looks fine. A little more symmetry here. Something like that, maybe. Trying to just like spruce these up. So there's a couple different like no shade tiles you can use to spruce this up a bit. Actually, you know, it might be interesting. I think the bottom might be the middle room. Oh, so you're saying like the stairs here that lead to a door? I think it's fine, honestly, because it also just fits with the elevation that you'd have to go up the stairs and there's a door. I think it's fine there to have doors at the top of the staircase like you're entering an apartment or something like that. An apartment full of treasure. Yeah, I don't see much issue there. I think what I will do though is I will spruce up this section here, this third layer, and then add some shading. I think that's a little bit more exciting. And this is kind of like a little corridor, I guess, in between. Yeah, I think that looks okay. I think down here I should switch up the tiling as well, so maybe I'll try something like... We'll clean this up a bit too. The stairs behind the chest? Oh, this one here? Oh, I see what you're saying, like that? Or here? Oh, here. I get what you mean. I kind of like it there, though, because then the thief can, like, in and out quickly. Because it probably makes more sense than them trying to break through the wall here. But I guess we could also have them spawn elsewhere and then, like, go through this wall and pickpocket stuff. But I like the idea of them having an easy exit as well. I'm going to leave it there for now. Because who knows, like, what's under this, right? There could be, like, more stuff. But I get what you're saying. So I'll leave those there for now. Oh, I'm glad you like it. I think that's enough terrain. Let's see how these look. No, I don't think that's gonna work. I'll put a staircase here too then, just because I can get more guys coming out of here. Sort of like in Dragon's Gate, that little room where the mages spawn in that corridor. Okay. Maybe shade that a little bit more nicely. Trying to find the right tile here. Yeah, there we go. There we go. I think that looks better. Not perfect, but better. But I think this will work for me. But I just want to change this tiling up a bit, but I'm not totally sure the best tiles to use here. Trying to think. Just looking at the tile set. Where would you recommend adding the breakable wall? Yeah, I am getting a little bit of like a Dragon's Gate vibe too with the way this is laid out, and I take that as a compliment, so thank you. I really like that map. There's a lot of different paths you can take. And I'm thinking the escape point will be the middle. I'll have this guy here. Yeah, thinking that works. Maybe a breakable wall somewhere else, but I'm not sure where. Maybe here could be interesting for a breakable wall. So you don't necessarily need to dedicate the resources there, but I kind of want to encourage, like, you gotta use your door keys or chest keys. You probably won't necessarily need what's in these chests if you don't have it. But you will have, at this point, 3 thieves to choose from, so I feel like you won't be totally starved for choice. I mean, unless you all died. But, I don't know. I kind of want to make it a little bit more tricky to consider. Or you can use, like, warp rescue strats to get in and out, if you still have it at this point as well. Maybe something like this. Nah, that looks kind of weird. Yeah, I think I'm just gonna... Maybe... Let's try this bottom section. So maybe I'll try this. And see how this looks. Do some, like, checkering. Okay. Maybe the room on the up left of the stair in the center? What would you recommend there? Okay, I'll clean that up. Now to fix these up. I think that looks fine. Now I'll try this guy. Oop, forgot one here. I think this is gonna look better. Just gonna do all these first. I'm gonna adjust the palette on this one as well, I think, eventually. Okay. Thankfully this tile set has, like, all the ones you need. Oh, breakable wall. Maybe. I don't know, because this is it's kind of weird because it's elevated, and so I don't really know where you'd put the breakable wall. Maybe on this side, though? Is that what you're saying? Like that? That could work? I think that's fine. Yeah, because this way you can try and break them out this way instead of having to go up if you want, but this is a little bit faster. Not a terrible idea. We can work with that. We could try that out. Yeah, but at least here it matches the elevation. Over here it doesn't. Unless I put a staircase there, but I don't really think that makes sense. So maybe we could try it like this, but we'll see how that goes. Anyway, let me get back to fixing this. Does that look right? No, that doesn't look quite right. Okay. I think this looks a little bit better. And then there. Just need to get the right shading. Shading, shading. Shading, don't forget to do your shading. Okay. Then I'll just have to fix a little bit more up here, just some shading stuff. Just make this wall look a little bit better. That looks nice. That looks better too, I think. I think there's the same one that I can do here. Yep. But then that looks weird. Okay, yeah. Feeling pretty good about how this one looks right now. I kind of might be able to put a little carpet there or something. And you know what? I think I might do that. Let's try this out. This is the fancy treasure room after all. It should have a carpet. Maybe something like this too. Little funky shapes going on here. We'll see how this looks. Nope, not like that. Oh, that's right. I can't do like a double corner. Or can I? Oh, I can. But I can't do a triple. Alright, never mind. Scratch that idea. Haha. I'll do this here. Yeah, that's true. You could use a rescue staff. That's definitely viable. I mean, I don't think I'll be adding any additional rescue staves into the game besides the one you get early on. So you'll need to conserve it. You will have Hammern at this point, so you could Hammern it, I think. But it wouldn't be the intended way to play, but you certainly could do that, and I wouldn't discourage it. If you have enough rescue staff uses to make it worthwhile, then sure, like, you could totally do that. Let's see. Yeah. The only concern I have... No, it's not really much of a concern. I feel pretty good about this. Maybe do I want to make it a little bit more obvious that there's like an opening here? Maybe... Maybe something like this. Let's try this out. And then... like that. Yeah, no, I totally get it. I mean, I would probably save I would probably still have enough rescue staff uses to try that out. So what I think I'm going to do here is I'm actually going to lower this again. And put the door on this side. Perhaps the breakable wall over here if you're so inclined to. Actually, yeah, let's do like this. I think that makes more sense. And then what I'll do is there'll be a staircase that leads further up, and this way you can escape out it. I think that makes the most sense. I like how this came out. I think this could be a fun map. This could be fun to try out. But it definitely feel better about this than I do what I have. It just looks a little bit more dynamic than what I had, because I think I've gotten much better at making maps over the past couple of months. And I think this might be a good one. This might make it in. So I'm gonna save this. Let's see, this is 4-5. Okay, so we're saving that. Yeah. Let's see. Is there anything else here that looks egregious for now? Thank you, Zonin. Yeah, I like this. I think this will be fun. Yeah, I'm just trying to take another look at it. Don't really see too much else that I need to do for this. I am gonna, let's see. I'm gonna have a short think about what I want to do, what else I can do here. Because I've redone a few. You know, there's one more that I want to try redoing. So I'm going to start that one in just a minute. I'm going to take a short break, so I will be right back. I'm going to put it in the chat as well. I'm going to be right back. Alright. We're back. We are back. So, I was looking through. There's one other map I want to do that I want to try and take a second stab at. And this map is it's another part 4 map that I want to try and redo again. So let's load back the field tile set. Okay, new map. This one also I think has to be a little bit bigger by nature of what it achieves. But it's going to be a little bit more narrow. So I'm then going to try width 19 or width 17, height 21. This could be interesting potentially. Gonna start with grass. The idea that I had for this map is that you start off kind of in the top, and your goal is to try and get you. So your player is going to start up here, and there are NPC reinforcements that come from the top, right? That's like an army that is trying to flee to the fort where it can hold out, and your job is to protect these guys as they get there. Meanwhile, the enemy is like crashing from these angles, and so you need to like cover and plug the holes, and like there's a boss in a village and stuff like that. So maybe like the village would go over here. The boss, I'd probably put, it's not going to be like a castle, he's going to just be on like a fort. So I'll probably put the boss kind of in the middle lower section here. But we will have some other forts as well. There's definitely going to be some bandits. And then we'll try... That doesn't look good. Let's try this out instead. So if we do... Nope, that doesn't look right either. Nope. Is anyone else just enjoying the hell out of this jazz? Let's see. No, that doesn't look right. Mountains are not my strong suit, guys. Let's see. You know what? I'm just gonna pick a god and pray. I think is gonna be the move right now. Boop, boop. Let's see if this gives me what I want. That works. Alright, this kinda works. We'll have to kind of just roll with this. So actually, I stole this idea. I do not deserve to take credit for it. There's a Berwick Saga chapter. So if you guys are familiar with the Kaga Saga series, there's a chapter in that where you do something like that. It's in the desert. So this is like kind of similar, but setting is a bit different. So I'm just like a Kaga shill. I love Kaga. And I don't really like how this mountain looks, so I'm going to reset this. I'm just going to try doing it like this. Let's see. Ooh, there we go. And then... let's try like this. Yeah, so I ripped this idea off straight from Kaga. And that doesn't look great, but I think I can do this then. And then... it gives up, dude. That's quite high regard that you're giving it. If you think it reminds you of Kaga, I take immense pleasure in hearing that. I think as I'm also like very excited for what's coming next because I think the current release is kind of crappy. And even though it only came out like 4 months ago, I feel very confident about some of the changes that I've made, both in the writing and the gameplay, and some of the maps as well, just more broadly. So I'm really excited to get it out. So hopefully it'll be better overall. But I think just high level, I think I've always kind of had like Thracia in mind as I've kind of made it. Definitely big on Thracia. Oh, is it Autumn Lara Mia? Welcome to the stream. I'm sorry. I've always known it as Berwick Saga. Totally makes sense if it's based on like how the UK pronunciation might be, kind of like Smithick, the beer. If you're familiar with that, that's like a kind of popular beer. So totally get that, Berwick Saga. That actually rolls off the tongue a lot more easily as well. So I'll call it Berwick Saga. No problem, man. Let's see. This shaded tile here is a little tricky. So maybe we'll try. No. That kind of works. I'm going to try just... Let's let the machine do it. Yeah, there we go. Thank you, Matte Machine. So this... Basically, so if you're not familiar with this tool, I'll put a link up for it in the description after the stream is over. But it's a tool where you can randomize some elements of it, and these little red tiles, if you put them in and then hit Control R, it'll randomize it, and then you can keep randomizing it that way or Control Zing. You can only go back one Control Z, so you just need to be careful. So you may want to copy something that you like first before continuing on with that. And then this piece, I want to try and make like little paths. So we'll clean up this forest first. And then I'm just going to let this do the heavy lifting. And then I'm thinking it's probably going to be like some type of cliff situation going on over here. Something like this, maybe. Yeah, I think that works. I don't know, I might remove this. But, yeah, actually, I'm not crazy about this. Never mind. This map is actually looking quite a bit bigger than I needed to. I think I might try and, like, get a big mountain going over here. Let's try that out. Let's see how this comes out. Unfortunately, the randomizer doesn't really know exactly what you want it to do. It'll kind of just, like, take what you can give it. So you may be here for a while trying to get a mountain. Like a river down the middle might also be pretty nifty. Let's try this again. Yeah, I'm not getting the mountain that I want. I'm sure this is the high quality content that you come here to watch is just Command R-ing this to try and get a decent looking mountain because I'm so lazy about it. Let's see. You know, maybe if I do this, right? If I put this down here. Let's see, 3 houses. Oh man, thank you for asking. So I am very excited for 3 houses. I'm super cautiously optimistic. Randomize the whole map and call it a day. It'll be fine. Yeah, I could see that. Okay, that works too. As far as 3 houses goes, so I'm pretty cautiously optimistic for the game. All the news I've seen kind of points to it being something that I would probably enjoy. Like, I feel like I think I posted this in a thread on FEU about it, but basically, like, my feeling is that it's Fire Emblem. It's going to be good. A question will be how good. Like, I'll enjoy playing it blind at least once. As far as which house do I want to pick, I'm really torn. Like, there are aspects I like about each of them. Like, I think just kind of going down the line, I like the Edelgard is a female axe lord that looks like she just has this sort of ruthless energy about her from what I've seen so far that I really like. I feel like Fire Emblem has generally done like a pretty bad job with female protagonists, and I feel like Edelgard is kind of their chance to make it right. Like, I was talking to someone about this recently, where it's like, think of every single like FE lord that's a woman, and they just like make them do such dumb stuff, or like they kind of make like Lyn is mean to Hector in Hector's story. She's just like really like, you could just tell that she's just so done in a lot of the parts of Hector's stories. Like, she's important, don't get me wrong, but she's definitely like comes across as a little brutish, and she's kind of mean. I was just playing that recently. But she's also like blinded by revenge at some point. So it's like they don't really like show her in a flattering light all the time. I like Lyn though. I do really like Lyn. I think she's probably the best female protagonist they've done. Actually, I would say Lucina's probably her and Lucina are probably 1 and 2. So don't get it wrong that I don't like them, but I think that Intelligent Systems tends to make their female protagonists not very bright. Like Celica with like trusting Jeddah, and Erica giving the stone to Leon and stuff like that. Like, that just doesn't make them look good, and people, meme on it because it's kind of silly. Like, dude, like, why did you do that? So I'm trying to find the right tile here. That doesn't look right. But Edelgard just has this sort of like ruthless energy about her. She looks really like cunning. She looks like someone who's like not going to take crap. So like, I think that she'll be a really strong protagonist, which I think is going to be really important. Dimitri, like, at first I wasn't very sold on him. The hair and all of that. Like, I wasn't really that crazy about his design. He kind of just looked greasy. But the time skip design with the eye patch and the hair and just like kind of like what seems to be him descending into some type of madness, really interesting. Definitely new territory for Fire Emblem, so I'm curious like how they'll write it. I could see it either landing really well, or they could just totally whiff on it and it won't really be that compelling and it'll kind of feel forced. Edelgard, I also see, Revnica, I agree with you. I don't know if she'll necessarily be bad, but I see her making morally gray decisions. Like, I could, like, based on like what we see in the trailer, like the Crests are to blame, like the cruel arrest, and like she's very like strong in her opinions. I could see it being where like she does something that isn't for the benefit of everyone and kind of is just like, we need to do things for ourselves or myself because this is what I believe, like screw your beliefs. Like, I could see it being that way, not necessarily wrong, but just not being as like, how do we all become friends, as maybe some of like the other things might be, some of the other characters might be. That's at least my take on it. But Dimitri, yeah, I think Dimitri's design is pretty interesting for the time skip overall. And then Claude, I like a bow lord. Like, I am definitely a big Tearing Saga fan. Holmes is really fun to use in that. I like the idea of a bow lord. Supposedly he gets a wyvern, so I've heard, which is pretty nifty. And this tile's really bothering me. I'm gonna try this again. Nope. Okay. Yeah, Claude definitely, like, the stuff about where he says like friendship and all that, like, it's kind of nice that they characterized him a little bit more in that recent trailer. I think that I like the students of the Golden Deer the most, and I like the idea that it's like mostly commoners. I feel like that's kind of like the way of the game hinting at you that it's going to be a little bit more challenging. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if like that route was the hardest because your units are probably the worst or have the least amount of special stuff. So, it is confirmed in the new trailer. That's cool. So yeah, I mean, I'm planning on my first playthrough doing the Golden Deer. That's just kind of what I decided a while ago because I really love Raphael. I think he's just like, his design just appeals to me on so many levels. Just this big lovable goon. So I'm gonna be doing the Golden Deer to start in the first go around. But Claude in the time skip, I feel like he'll be like the guy who's like trying to like pull everything together and like figure it out and like get all the sides to agree on like a way forward, and like, you know, we can work together and like figure it out and be good friends and like all that kind of stuff, all that kind of, you know, Fire Emblem Lord jazz that we're all familiar with. Maybe something like this here with these mountains. Yeah, Blue Lions. I think Blue Lions probably over. I don't know. I was looking at like the bios again recently, and I feel like the Blue Lions are kind of tropey overall. I don't know. I just feel like they're falling into a lot of like these tropes, or like some of the characters that have already been done before, like Sylvain being like a womanizer, and like Ingrid loving food, like giving me Ilyana vibes. Dedue's cool. Like I think he's probably one of my favorites in that group. Felix kind of being like a little bit of an edgelord, but I don't know. All of them are tropey. It's Fire Emblem. Like we're not playing this, you know, for supreme depth. This is going to be like, it's going to be a little tropey at times. Like that's to be expected. No. Okay, maybe not that. A secret fourth route would be cool. I wouldn't be surprised if there was one. My main concern with like all of these routes on one cartridge is that it'll be a lot of like recycled stuff. You know, like, ooh, that looks kind of decent. Not really. Just like some recycled stuff. Sort of like how like in Fates, like the maps are kind of similar. Or like they're the same maps, but you're placed differently. Like I feel like that's a little low effort for my liking. But maybe I hope I'm wrong. I hope that they put in a little bit more effort. I mean, it looks just like the level of customization that they're allowing in this one just seems pretty intense. I feel like there'll be a lot of replayability, even if like the maps are kind of similar. But as someone who loves map design, I find that the more intelligent systems tends to focus on the customization of units, the less focused they are on making good maps. And also it becomes harder to make a good map because you don't really know what the player is going to have. And this is really frustrating me, this mountain here. I'm sorry this is taking so long, but I'm also distracted talking 3 houses. I'm pretty stoked. I'm going to get it on launch and play it pretty quickly. This is fine for now. We'll get a little fort going over there. Now the question is over here with this map, do we need a river? Maybe like a river running through. Maybe like a little river here could be interesting as like an extra little buffer layer. Yeah, let's try that out. Let's just see how this looks. But yeah, I think to sum up 3 houses, I am very much looking forward to playing it. I'm looking forward to making suboptimal units and by making them do things that I like versus just like doing what like they're clearly intended for. Was reading this comment. I enjoy coming up with unique kinds of runs for games, mostly Pokemon because I'm relatively new to FE, but at least one benefit of high customization giving the opportunity for that kind of thing. Yeah, super true. Like you can do a lot with it, and I think the customization. Like I know I'm in the minority, and I think this is because I've been a Fire Emblem fan for so long. Is that customization is really popular and it's here to stay. Like I get that. I'm not going to fight it, but it does, I think, in my opinion, like take away from some of the elements that I really like, which are the map design. And I think it's not something that like needs to necessarily, yeah, I guess we can allow this path too. Not necessarily something that has to happen, but just kind of the way like they focus on things. Everyone's going to be a brawler. Yeah. Let's see. People randomize which class. Because anyone can be basically anything. Yeah, that's true. Like one of the things I didn't like in general, especially like with the DS games and the 3DS games, is that it just like feels like non-canon, especially when there's like a very like Doga's like this huge armor knight and like people will reclass him into a dark mage. Like it just doesn't make any sense. Like it might make for a more fun and like customizable gaming experience, but I just feel like, you know, Doga's an armor knight. He should stay an armor knight. And I feel like with 3 houses, they're like kind of focusing, like kind of hinting that like certain characters are best at certain classes. Like in the Blue Lions, for example, like Dedue has that skill that's like very armor knight-ish. Mercedes has that skill that's like very much healer-ish. Ash has that skill that's very much thiefish. It's like everyone's kind of being like shoehorned into a class, or like it's very hinted that like this is like the right class for them. And to me, it's like, well, why not just force them into that class versus like saying you can customize them to something less optimal, but it'll be less optimal, right? So not crazy about that. I think it's just a little bit too much customization oriented. Like I find limitations in Fire Emblem is something that I really enjoy. I mean, I'm also like, again, I love Thracia. Probably the game that places more limitations on the player than any others in terms of just like item availability and stuff like that. So I'm definitely in the minority because I mean, I had a friend who got into the game recently and I like showed him Fates and he just like spent like 20 minutes just like customizing a character. He's like, this is so much fun. I love this. And it's just like, I can understand like why people like doing that. It is fun and like, you know, you can tell your own stories and whatever. But for me, like, I just want to like get my generic units and like kind of try and make them work. But it's like, I don't know, like I remember like I think it was Awakening, like everyone tried to like turn their units into dark flyers or something like that. I'm like, this isn't really, to me, like that's not really like a legit experience. I don't know. I'm probably in the minority on that. That's what it sounds like, Ravnica. I don't know if it means like you could be like in the mage class and use an axe still if you have that rank, or if you go back to being an axe wielding class, you won't lose your axe rank. Like let's say in some of the more other recent games where you reclass and lose, like if Donald reclasses into, you know, a fighter or something like that, then like he loses his lance rank or something. I don't think that's the case, but it could be. That's crazy. You can use any weapon in any class besides magic. That's interesting. It feels like the class structure is just way more fluid than I like personally, but I'm willing to give it a try. Like I feel like they definitely took a lot of cues from Gaiden for this. Like I'm getting a lot of Gaiden vibes from Three Houses, which is a good thing, but I also feel like Gaiden is like probably the least Fire Emblem-y game. But still fun. Like I do like Gaiden quite a lot. So back to the map though. Just trying to spruce things up a little bit. Something like this maybe. You need the weapon, still a bit too free, IMO. Yeah, I feel like you could just like totally abuse it somehow. I'm curious like what sort of limitations they will put on the player in terms of just like how much time you have to do that. My gut is that like the first generation will be like, all right, time to make your units busted, and then the second generation you'll kind of just have to like deal with what you put together, and there won't be time to teach them or like improve their weapon ranks beyond what they already can do, and you kind of just need to like commit to that. I think that sort of limitation could be interesting, where you have like half the game to kind of get them up to speed, and then the other half of the game to kind of just like basically like planting a seed and then watching it flower, more or less. Troubadour Pegasus, yeah, that'll be fun. I want to do Axe Knight Pegs personally. Axe Cats, just axe everything. I just want axes. Let's see. I think some of these need to be spruced up a little bit more. I want to customize this section here. Come on, give me some more mountain, man. I like how that one was just like, nope, screw this. Okay. Let's try this out. No. Mountains, man. Mountains are tough. They're just really not intuitive for me at all. Let's see. Gotta find the right tile for this little section here. Let's try this. Nope. That kind of works. At least it looks different. These mountains are kind of small, but there's some nice pathing here you could do. Maybe a mountain here to make the section a little bit more choky. I'm not really sure. I feel like this map is a little open, which will make it, I think, kind of unique in that it's like you're defending in a big open field, which I think could be fun to try and figure out. But this is definitely not my strong suit. Mountains are tough. Something like that, maybe. Maybe like that over there. And then a little like, just a little cliff. Not sure how I feel about that. The second fort from the top, like over here. Yeah, that's actually a good idea too. Yeah, I like that. One of the things too that like, when it came to thinking of Vision Quest, it's just like how I kind of wanted like the maps to play out. I kind of wanted it to feel like a slugfest. Like these are guys who are really like scrambling to fight versus it being like super crisp and clean. Like hit rates are weird. There are crits. I don't know. I just like kind of had this sort of like randomish slugfest in mind so that every time you play will be a little bit different. Like that's why a lot of the hit rates are like kind of in like this weird like 50 to 80 range. I feel like a lot of the time that's a bit intentional so that it just kind of has a little bit more randomness associated with it, because I think randomness is fun versus everything being like confirmed dodge or confirmed hit. I kind of like it being in the sort of gray zone where there's a bit of luck involved, but maybe not everyone would agree with me on that. Debating what else could I do here. Actually, maybe I could do something like this. Just to spruce it up a bit. Just to try something else out in this corner. Just make the map a little bit more aesthetically interesting. Something like that, maybe. Yeah, I get what you're saying. Luck can be mitigated. Sufficiently good play. That's true. Like, there are definitely ways to... when there's luck involved, the matchups just become so much more important. Like, I really think Vision Quest is... There's definitely, like, an emphasis on good matchups and, like, making sure that you're in the right ones. And that can help mitigate a lot against bad luck. Plus, there's, like, supports and stuff, and I made supports easy to get. Like, not necessarily... Like, they don't take as long as maybe some other games, so... And you have the range option. So I think that also helps with getting them a little bit sooner. How many flyers are you going to have at this point in the game? So right now in the current release, you'll have... So you get... All in all, there are 48 characters that'll be in the whole game that are playable. How many of them are flyers? There'll be 2 pegs and 3 wyverns, so you'll have 5 flyers total. One of the there's only one more flyer left that hasn't been revealed yet. He'll be in part 3, so you'll be able to get him like in the 3rd chapter of part 3, and he's a pre-promote wyvern lord. So you'll have 5 flyers at this point, but chances if you're using all of them, I would be surprised, but if you want to, like, go for it. I'm thinking this house would be the one that has the Delphi shield, or the Phila shield, whatever we're going to call it. Maybe not like that. No, I'm not crazy about this. Maybe that looks a little bit more natural, I think. There we go. I like that. And then something like this up here too. I'm really liking this music, by the way. Still super jamming on it. Put a fort there. Because I do want it to feel like there are enemies coming from the forts that are going to like go towards the side here. So you're trying to come down here and protect these guys. Protect on like this angle, and there are guys coming at each end. So you kind of need to like spread your wall really thin and then kind of collapse it up top. I think that's kind of interesting. Let's see. And then you at least have like the river to like protect you a little bit more if you're playing real slow, but it's not going to get you all the way to where you need to be. So you'll have to expose them a bit. I think making this section a little bit longer. Actually, no, let's try some forest first. And then something like that, maybe. And then clean this up here. Maybe like that. So you have a little bit of forest to play with, and it's a little bit tighter to pass through here. I'm going to clean all of this up as we go, but just kind of thinking through some ideas here. What are you guys thinking here? Nope, don't want to do that. Don't want to make this too crazy. And a little path through here. Something like this, maybe. There we go. I kind of like this. No, doesn't really work. Actually, that looks okay. So we can do that. Nope. This looks good. Let's destroy it immediately. No, that's fine. Then something like this, maybe. Oop, I missed there. Here we go. I think the place where the dirt on the top right stops lines up a little too well with the edge of the mountain. Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah, I can clean that up. I want to finish this little bottom section first here, though. Like that looks fine, I think. And then I'll fix that. Maybe something like this. Yeah, I like that. That's better. So maybe if I do something like... Then... That looks a little weird too. Actually, we could salvage this. Too boxy. No, this is... We're going to just make this a little bit more narrow, I think, overall. And then maybe I'll just shorten this a little bit. I think that looks better. So then your guys come in from up here, and then they try to rush down. I think that makes sense. Oh, you know what else could be fun? I have an idea. Let's make this one tile wider. Yeah, I think one tile wider. And what I'm thinking... If this will be... When will the chapter end? So, I'm going to time it so that it's turn-based, I think. I mean, you make a good point. Like, it's a little bit difficult logistically to do, and I haven't fully tested it yet. So, I may have to scrap this concept altogether, unfortunately, if it doesn't work as I think it will. But my thought is... My thought is that... I'm going to do a snag here so you can try and break it, and they could try and cross over. But, my thought is that there would be a turn limit. And it would, basically, the map would end when that turn limit is hit. But the idea being that because the enemies are just going to be set to keep moving. Or, I'm sorry, the NPCs are set to just keep moving. Like, they don't stop for anything. They're not going to go after and fight. They're just going to keep moving and trying to escape to this point here. So, assuming that their routes don't get blocked, they should be all able to reach it by a certain turn. And then my view is that I will have the map end sometime around there so you can feasibly get them all there by that turn point. If they get distracted, you may need to like rescue drop them and stuff like that and ferry them down. But it's going to be like a survive chapter, and then if all of the enemies escape, there'll be like some sort of check for an item reward. That's kind of what I'm thinking. If they don't all get there, like you'll still advance the story, and we'll say like, oh, we tried to get as many as we could. You know, there'll be like some sort of alternate conditional, and you won't get a reward. But it's going to be a survive map with a defeat boss component. But the idea is that you want all of the units to get here first, and then maybe give you a little bit of time to defeat the boss after, but probably not too much. It should be like a pretty tricky chapter to try and do all the objectives in. Because we're getting into late game. This is like this is slated to be the second chapter of part 4. Which will be like chapter 25, I think, roughly, out of 30. So we're really getting down to the wire here in terms of maps. So I expect this to be a little bit more difficult than, to get everything that you want. At least that's what I'm thinking. We'll see how it actually plays out in reality. Okay, like that maybe. Little path through the forest maybe. Something like that. And then something like that, maybe spruce it up. And then over here, some forest as well. Actually, I don't really love that. Maybe like that is fine, and then and I've been streaming for 3 hours already. This is crazy. This is probably gonna be the last map I do, and then I'm gonna stretch and do something else. Something like that, maybe. Mix it up a bit. And then I'll probably do something similar over on this side. Not that close, but... There we go, little thunderbolt there. Thanks, man. I'm excited too. My goal right now is to have this ready to go by Fire Emblem E3, which is the event that they do. That's kind of like the fan game expo that the community runs every year. I think it's sometime last year. It fell in October, so right now where I'm at is all of the maps for part 3 are done. They're tested. Everything's been cleaned up from a gameplay perspective, and the game can be played today. But I want to fix up a lot of the art so that it looks really polished for the release, and that's just taking some time. And of course, the team that's helping me, there are a lot of really great folks helping me on the art side that are also, they have other priorities. So I want to give them enough time to do some of the art as well. I'm diving in a bit. Today I was in the mood to do some maps because I want to start thinking about the gameplay for part 4 a bit more while it's on my mind, and continue on with the art. So I'm hoping that part 3, the 23 chapter release, will be soon. Yeah, Laramia, it's pretty wild. It's a pretty thriving community. I mean, I haven't really been part of it for too long, but I've followed it for, a long time, and then hacking just got quite a lot easier more recently, and that kind of what's inspired me to jump in about a year ago. Pokemon does have a pretty good ROM hacking community. I don't know how big it is now, but I remember like years and years ago, the GBA ROM hacking was pretty big. Like there's a lot of like custom tools and stuff like that you can use to make edits. I played around and did some Pokemon hacking at one point, specifically to basically like try and make like a harder version of Leaf Green where the level curve was a bit more steep, and added new trainers and like just Pokemon that I like. It was like fun to mess around with, but not as much fun to play. I think Pokemon is like in some ways a harder game to balance because there's just so much you need to change. But yeah, I'd imagine like the new games I think in general are just harder to hack and play with, and they require just like more buff PCs and all of that, which can also be a bit more challenging. This fort up here. Yeah, I like the idea of enemies coming from the side though. So I think I'm going to leave it there for now. But I get what you mean. It does kind of feel just like in this little corner. But I want it this way so it's like maybe there's some guys that'll try and like strafe you up here. I just like this idea of like this wall of enemies coming at you. Let's see, what else can we do here? Like just like a little narrow path maybe. Just like a little guy. Like that, maybe it looks nice. And then just like a little bit of stuff here. Then I feel pretty good about where this map is at. We'll see, just maybe. That looks a little strange, not gonna lie. Yeah, it looks a little off. I'm gonna probably erase this. Yeah, no, we don't need that. Let's see. Do I need this there? No, I don't think that really adds much. This here, though, that looks fine. Yeah, that's fine there, I think. We could add that there and do this instead. Little extra forests going on. It's gonna like lean back a little bit and just gonna see the whole map. Part of the reason there's going to be so much terrain is that it's meant to like slow down the enemies as well as they charge at you. So some of the paths will be a little bit more open. Others they'll have to like traverse through terrain a bit. So we'll see. This map is definitely going to need tweaking because a lot of it's contingent on how the NPC AI will work as far as like the pathing that they take and where they decide to go as they find their most optimal path to this particular spot. So I feel like I can just do a little bit of grass shading now. No, that's not right. I don't like that one. Yeah, let's try this out. Just a little bit of shading for these forests I think will look nice. Okay, I think that's fine. Now let's just add in some random grass. This is like, the grass tiles are really just like, you just kind of have to mix them up and see what looks nice. It's a bit tricky to get totally right. But I'm just experimenting and just putting stuff in random spots and seeing what looks okay. But mixing it up and just getting some light shades and dark shades is usually a good enough idea. It doesn't need to be perfect, just needs to look okay. It just doesn't want you. I feel like a lot of people just like tile spam and just have a very basic shape, but you just need to like splash in some nuance around to make the map just look a little bit better. I think this is fine. Yeah, I think this is okay. I'm pretty happy with how this looks. I think this will be good. Good enough for me. I'll probably make some tweaks to it later. But let me just oh, there's supposed to be a talk conversation somewhere, so I'll put the house right there. So it's easy for the player to get, because I don't want it to be too out of the way. Yeah, I think I feel pretty good with this. I'm going to save it. This is going to be 4-2. Alright, so that's all saved. And we're just about closing in at 3 hours, so I think I'm going to call it a wrap here. This was fun. I definitely had a pretty productive afternoon of map making. I didn't realize it would take me this long to do, but definitely scratched the itch that I had to just like kind of draw some Fire Emblem maps today. Thanks everyone for stopping by. It was fun chatting and just getting your thoughts and hearing your feedback as we go through and do this. I'll keep you all posted. And thanks again for stopping by. I really appreciate it. And I will see you guys next time. I'll definitely be doing this again at some point. This was really relaxing. I'll link the jazz again here. This is a fun station. And I definitely will keep doing it in the future. But, or at least revisiting this again next time I do it. So this has been a lot of fun, guys. Thanks again for watching. My name is Pandan. We're making some maps. And I will see you guys next time for something else. Until then, take care and happy 4th of July. Enjoy.